To the Harpswell Select Board of Thursday, February 27th. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for all the people out there in the viewing audience, if you want to get the Zoom information, you can get it from the agenda on tonight's town page. Spit that out nicely.
Talked around it.
Adoption of the agenda.
I think I'm all set.
All right. Public comment? Oh, no.
Leanne Grillo, Harpswell. I wasn't able to be present last week for the presentation of the proposal for repurposing of the admin building, but I am on the committee, and I did want to clarify a few things and rebut a few of the comments that were put out there yesterday regarding, last week regarding the effort. So our group was given a template to use to make the proposal by Jane Covey and Christy Ian on behalf of the Select Board. And a small group of volunteers spent countless hours researching, writing, budgeting to put together the extensive proposal. We were never asked to present this proposal to the Mitchell Field Committee. We were asked by the Select Board to present it to you, and we did. I want to be clear and just restate the point that the town cannot do anything with the admin building until toxin remediation takes place. It can't be demolished, it can't be repurposed. And we expect that that remediation effort probably will cost about $150,000 and would probably take at least a year, if not longer, to complete. And on top of the remediation effort is then the demolition cost. And at the end, there won't be anything really to show for it except an empty area, potentially a parking lot. I toured the admin building with a group of folks 2 years ago, almost to this date, on February 22nd. And as I was looking at the waterfront, standing at the admin building, I remarked about all the possibilities that existed with this building. And I was told in no uncertain terms by the steward that none of that was possible because they needed to tear the building down for parking. So my assumption, therefore, was that it's going to be used for a parking lot. Suddenly, that seems to have changed. So I'm not sure why, but I'd love to know. The biggest request that came out of the survey that was sent out was for real bathrooms. And yes, we read all the comments as well, going through that survey when we were putting the proposal together. And as far as we can tell, if our proposal is not accepted, there is no plan for the town to put bathrooms anywhere at Mitchell Field. Now, last week, the Mitchell Field steward did talk about bathrooms, and he said that they would like them to be the bathrooms that they have at Muir Point. And I don't know if everybody's seen those, but these are some photos.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Pit toilets.
Yep.
Oh, here's, oh, that's the inside.
Yep.
There's the outside and the inside. Those are not real bathrooms. And they're hardly a step up from the current porta potties that we have. So I just wanted to make that point. We also disagree with the statement that people from the other side are not using Mitchell Field. Ironically, the Mitchell Field steward himself is from the other side, from Moores Island. At least one member of the Mitchell Field Committee is also from Cundy's Harbor. And our group that put together the proposal also has people from the other side on it. When Harpswell Aging at Home hosts programs at Mitchell Field, we get people from all over Harpswell coming to those programs. And Bill Muldoon, the chair of the bandstand committee, says that one of the purposes of the bandstand concerts was to bring all parts of Harpswell together. And he's shared number of times how successful they've been in doing that. So people are coming from the other side. The bandstand lighting event that featured the chorus from the Island Community Church was there, and lots of people from the other side came. I think the idea that the people from the other side don't use Mitchell Field is probably a bit of an old perspective at this point, and we really need to shift that. Plus, we really need to bring Harpswell together. I hate even using the term "the other side," because we really are a town, and I think this shouldn't be a divisive thing as to who uses it and who doesn't. Mr. Heibel also said that the town has funding to do what needs to be done now. And until the town meeting actually votes on the warrant, we don't really have the funds. And so that is a bit of a problematic statement. He also said he's had experience with fundraising for some capital campaigns. Well, so do members of our planning group. We consulted other development people, and he said we were looking at federal grants. None of the items we listed on that proposal were federal grants or federal funding. The list that we prepared is not suspect. It was well vetted and researched. In our proposal, we did leave the door open for future possibilities. We were trying to show the flexibility of the design concept. And if there's a desire to do further work on the admin building down the road, add more, add that center section back or whatever, we assume that it would have to come to the town meeting for a vote anyway. So I don't know that that's really a negative. And I don't understand why creating the design that would allow for that possibility would be a negative. There's also no conflict with waterfront usage. The boat ramp plans were designed with the building in place. The people who want a kayak will still be able to put in their kayaks. We would want to encourage that. We may even have the opportunity to have a kayak rental or borrowing situation through the admin building, which would enhance the usage. Nothing's going to be blocked off. This effort does not foreclose any of the area. I feel like there's only missed opportunity here. The people who spoke against our proposal talk about the fact that we've incorporated a whole list of different uses and how terrible it is. I don't think those uses are terrible. In summary, we're actually making the waterfront more desirable and more usable without hindering views or impacting the area environmentally. We're putting in shaded picnic areas and real bathrooms that many, many people asked for. We're encouraging more people to use Mitchell Field's beautiful waterfront. Many people who came to the Southern Maine Astronomers Star Party were there for the first time, and they'll now come back. They told me so. And we expect the same thing to happen with people who come to the Mitchell Field for one of the activities that take place at the Recreation Center. We want Harpswellians to use Mitchell Field. We want all Harpswellians to use it. Isn't that part of what we want, what we see as a good use? Offering a highly flexible design that can accommodate many different kinds of uses would just enhance the area, and it only really takes imagination and vision to see that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Select board announcements. I have one. Go for it. We're losing our friend Jane tonight. This is the last regular meeting.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it
Until
is.
town meeting. And
It is.
it's been a great 6 years. It just shows that you don't have to get along with everybody, agree with everybody all the time, and still get along, and meeting's over, and that's the end of it.
Exactly.
You know, and it's been a pleasure. See, I can't believe it's been 6 years,
I
frankly.
can't either. It's gone fast.
You-
It's been my pleasure and really my honor. It's been one of the most satisfying things I've done. So I appreciate having had the opportunity and being with you guys for 6 years.
Well, and thank you.
the
Thank
administration.
you for your service, too.
Yes,
Ed.
and I want to say the staff also has really appreciated working with you and for you. And, we've really watched how you've approached issues, and we've learned from that, and we just, again, really appreciate your service
Good.
to the
Well,
town.
and I certainly have learned a lot, too. And I'm not leaving town.
Oh, no.
I'll be around.
No, go ahead.
Thank you, Kevin.
All set, David? Yep. All right.
Except
Town
to echo what
administrator.
you said, that's all.
So I do just want to acknowledge that we do now have the town report, the annual town report
Oh.
for 2024. And I do want to give a special shout out to Jim Babarski, our communications staffer. He worked very hard on this. It was his first year, so he took a lot of direction. And of course, we were up to the last minute and the final hour. But anyway, we got it done. It's going to the post office in large part tomorrow, but I think a few are out already. in parts of Harpswell. So we'll have it
So get
posted
it soon.
online. And the cover is really, we veered away from our usual feel-good cover, and we are really documenting some of the storm damage situations that occurred in January of 2024. So, really great reports from all of our volunteer committees. The warrant is in this report, however, there will be a few changes to it that we'll acknowledge at the town meeting, and we'll talk about further tonight. But lots of information, lots of great data, good reports from each of our town departments, and so I think people will really be thrilled to finally get this in their hands. So thank you, Jim, for your help.
And he hasn't resigned yet. So.
No, he can't go anywhere.
So I do, after that, I want to remind people that the annual town meeting is Saturday, March 8th. It's at Harpswell Community School. The moderator is elected at 9. The business meeting starts at 10. Some of the early articles are things like the comp plan and the central station. So we do want to encourage people to get there early because that business meeting will start at 10. So we're hoping there aren't long lines and people waiting to get through and get their ballots. We'd like them to be ready to go for the business part of the meeting at 10. Yeah, so I think that's it. I will say, we have had people ask the town clerk if the central station is on the ballot. And no, we want to remind people that you have to be present to vote on that. You have to be present to vote on, the comp plan proposal. The administration building is another article where you have to be present at the meeting to vote. Thank you.
All right, consent agenda.
Okay, I move the consent agenda, which is approval of the minutes. General Assistance Administrator appointment, and Katie will be great at that job, I'm sure. Committee appointment change and authorization of the warrants.
Second.
Right, all in favor? All right, Ron, you're up. Road Commission recommendation to restrict weight on certain town roads.
6.
Ron Ponziani, the road commissioner, and I want to thank Jane for all the support you've given me. I remember the first time we talked about this at a coffee at the store that you were going to try to run for selectman, and I hope it's gone as fast as it has for me, because I can't believe how long I've been here. I've enjoyed it, and it's good to get the support you gave me too.
Thank you.
And whatever you do, have fun.
What it's all about.
I'm here tonight to, I want to ask your approval to post the roads on March 14th, and I'm going to let them go until April 30th. Yeah, and so that's it.
Quite a roller coaster ride going up Route 123, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you want me to post that one too?
Yeah, geez.
It's the worst. I've seen it in quite a few years, actually.
It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I go up 24, so I'm starting to get residents over there. I might have a house over there someday.
Well, we need to do it, so I move that we post the roads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad, and it's a lot of frost, and when it does come out, it's gonna come out quick.
I'll exercise my signing hand.
Okay. I think that's it.
Sounds
All
good.
right, thanks.
Thank you all.
Did you vote?
No, not
No,
yet.
you second it?
I second. I didn't hear the motion, but
For discussion? All in favor?
Okay,
Ron-
thank you
Ron,
again.
yeah, would you just remind people that some of the roads are state roads and we don't post those in case people are
Yes,
watching?
that's true. We
123,
don't
for example.
post Route 123, Route 24, Cundy's Harbor Road, Mountain Road. Those are not ours to post. And I've already had contractors calling me wanting to know when I'm gonna post Cundy's Harbor Road and some of those. And I said, you're in good luck, because I don't do it.
That used to be a bad road
Yeah.
fixed it finally.
years ago up near your place.
I know, it was awful.
You could get airborne.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's did, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but- yeah,
guess we're all set.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get your supper now. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, March 8th, town meeting warrant, certification, attachments, and comprehensive plan, shoreline zoning ordinance, and definitions addendum.
Yes, so let's kind of take it one at a time. Let's
Yeah.
look at the warrant. I do want to say that since your last meeting, I have reworked the two articles that may involve FEMA funding.
Yeah.
So Article 28, the town dock, and Article 33. 28, we've now made it clear that we're asking the voters to appropriate up to $200,000 from unassigned fund balance, of which $95,614 comes from insurance proceeds from the town dock claim, so we wanted to be really specific about that. We want to be able to use those funds to rebuild the town dock. We also have an ongoing claim. We have not agreed to the final claim yet, so there could be some additional insurance proceeds that we would like to put toward the project. And in addition, our staff has been working with FEMA to discuss what items might be considered more resilient and potentially funded by FEMA. So we would like to get the voters' approval to be able to use those funds to rebuild the town dock. We will have some drawings at the meeting that were done by Tim Forrester. The town hired him, and we'll have some additional information. But this would authorize the town to get started. And I think one of the things that our staff discussed is we'd really like to have $200,000 available because we don't want to have to wait for FEMA funding. We don't know how long that's going to take. And we do have a price for building, I think it's in the 170 range to make it more resilient. And so we'd really like to have the authority to get that project started. Now, it's probably not going to be able to be used this season,
Right.
but we could get our permit and get started. And so I think this article gives the town the flexibility it needs if it wants to rebuild the dock at Potts Point and make it more resilient and be open to accepting federal funds to do that. The other piece that FEMA may be able to help us with is our deductible, which was $15,000. So we're in discussions with FEMA about whether or not they would provide the town with that deductible. So that's what's happened to Article 28. Similarly, Article 33, we just wanted to clear it up and make it so the voters understood that we were talking about using unassigned fund balance, raising and appropriating money. So from unassigned fund balance, 200,000, raise and appropriate 400,000, and then accepting monies from FEMA to be able to work on Little Island Road and Ocean Street. Those two roads were impacted in the January 2024 storms. We're closer to getting the Little Island Road project at least out to bid soon, but the Ocean Street project's going to take a little more work. And a gentleman who has some vested interest in the end of Ocean Street would like to come to your next meeting and talk about some type of perhaps gift to the town. I don't really know if it's quite what that person is interested in doing, but I think interested in having a discussion because we really cannot spend any public dollars on what might be considered private property. So there might be a way to work with this person to make something happen down there. It might take another town meeting to accept something that might be gifted to the town, but I don't want to get too far out in front of that.
Yeah.
So that article's been reworded again to make it clear that we want the ability to use FEMA funding for those projects. And the other thing was to say that Peabody Road is part of our capital road plan, so that continues to be a project that we expect to complete in 2025. So we reworded the note slightly to say, we expect to undertake and complete Peabody Road in 2025 and then to begin the other projects. We'd like to complete Little Island. I don't know if it's possible that we'll complete Ocean Street in 2025. And let's see, another change, it had to do, I think really just with, we wanted to make sure we had a clear recommendation on Article 30, which is the administration building. So Article 30 reads, to see if the town will vote to appropriate up to $230,000 from unassigned fund balance for the demolition of the Mitchell Field Administration Building, including the removal of hazardous materials, and further, to authorize the select board to accept and expend any grants for this purpose. And we thought we heard that it was recommended by the select board 2-1 with select board member Chipman opposed, but we weren't certain if that's how,
Sounds right?
is that, okay.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure that was accurately portrayed.
Is that what's being mailed out? Too late to change it now?
No, what's mailed out, we didn't put any recommendation on what was
Okay,
mailed out,
okay.
because you hadn't had a chance to hear the presentation.
Right.
And the Budget Committee did not make any recommendation because it did not have an opportunity to kind of hear the presentation, so. Let's see, what else has changed? Oh, Article 39. This has to do with the recycling center capital reserve account, and we are asking the voters to raise and appropriate $200,000. We have $739,499 in that reserve. We are planning to remove the note that went out in the town report. The note in the town report said, the project is expected to be bid in 2025. We're now looking at the possibility of, yes, maybe bidding part of the project in 2025, because it's looking like everything is costing more. And our latest number is significantly higher than what we had initially thought. So we've asked our engineering firm to look at whether or not it makes any sense to try to phase the project. They haven't really responded yet to us, so I don't think it would, I don't want to mislead people and think that we're going to be able to do the whole entire project in 2025.
Sometimes
yeah.
I feel like the greyhound trying to chase that stuffed rabbit
Yeah,
around the track
I
and
know.
never's going to catch
I
it.
know. So we're just we're recommending removing that note and then just telling the voters how much is in reserve at this point. And not really committing beyond that.
Right.
Okay. Article 46, I think the only thing that changed might have been that we added, I don't think we had a budget committee. Oh, no, we did
We
have
did
that,
have a
so that's
budget,
fine.
yeah,
That went to
yeah.
the budget committee, that's reflected in the town report. Oh, Article 47, community television. We wanted to ask Select Board Member Chipman if you wanted to recuse yourself because you did last year
Sure.
on that article,
Sure.
so we thought we would correct that.
Station's making me a millionaire, so one I should probably recuse myself.
Well, you are the president of the board, so
I know.
not everyone realizes that. Article 52, the select board sets the interest rate on delinquent taxes every year, and we have not yet discussed it with the board, but 6% is what you had last year, and we
Yep.
wanted
Yeah,
to
it's
make
fine.
sure you were okay with that.
Fine.
And then the same, Article 54 is if anyone's fortunate enough to get an abatement, then we typically have the same rate of interest for that, so you're fine with the 6%.
Yes.
Okay, and then I think the only other change might be on the very first page, Article 6, again, it's changing the note, so it's not really substantive, and it was just recommended by our attorney to just say, copies of the text of the proposed ordinance are available from the town clerk, and then there's a special certified piece of paper that will go and that will be attached to the warrant with those ordinance changes. We're not attaching the comp plan, which looks like this, but this will
Yeah.
be provided to the town clerk, and, you know, it's on our website, people can view it. We will make copies for people upon request. We will have some copies at the town office, at the town meeting, but the ordinance changes, we'll make sure we have copies for everyone at the town meeting. And if anyone wants a certified copy, they should always go to the town clerk for that, for any ordinance language that's changing. So I think those are the pieces that would be slightly different from what went out in the mailed town report, or what will go out. Any questions?
Nope.
comments?
No, looks good.
Okay. So assuming you're okay with those changes, you would vote to execute the 2025 annual town meeting warrant. And you
Yes.
could include the certification, which certifies that we're going to have the shoreland zoning ordinance changes, the definitions addendum changes, and the comprehensive plan will also be a separate attachment.
You need a motion for that?
Yeah.
or- Okay, I so
think
move.
so.
Second.
Any conversation? Yeah, no. All in favor?
Aye.
So the last requirement is the town clerk's office is responsible for posting the warrant around town, and that's going to happen tomorrow.
Yep.
There are specified locations, I think maybe 10,
Oh, good.
so. And then town meeting will be on March 8th,
No.
so we're getting close.
Bring the lunch.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long one.
Won't be anybody selling hot dogs or anything this time?
I don't know.
Girl Scout cookies or
I
anything?
think there's coffee and sweets, maybe.
Donuts,
The,
cookies.
In the morning?
Hundy's Harbor Library has been doing
Oh,
that.
they're doing that?
Yeah,
Oh.
Cool.
yeah. But I don't think they're doing lunch, to my knowledge.
Okay,
All right.
brown bag it.
I know. Public comment? All set? Other business? Anything else?
Well, we didn't talk about the ordinance changes.
Well, you've previously
need to-
discussed them,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
but,
we've done
Margaret
that.
reviewed them and you voted to put them on the warrant,
Yeah.
so nothing has changed with respect
No.
to those.
Well, I've noticed there's 26 places in here where hat was removed. So, and
Yeah, it's going from
That's quite a
highest
labor.
annual
Yeah.
tide to
Yeah.
highest astronomical tide. Yeah,
so in this case, they've thrown the hat out of the ring.
good one.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. That was
I
the
think
other
it's
business?
still in there, it's just redefined.
Yes.
Mary Ann's back there with her. You were, all right, at this point, we're adjourned.